Hi, I'm Ben. Welcome to my book corner. It's been a little while since we did a tag video, and the amazing Elaine over at Cobalt Dragon tagged me in this one last week, or this week as I'm recording it. And I thought, why not? Should be a bit of fun, this one. Now, it has been a few days, and I have a memory like spinach, so I can remember very little about the actual questions for this one. So this is going to hopefully, fingers crossed, be a one-take video. Let's see how well that goes. So this was originally created by Richard over at richard.historylit. I will link his channel down below as well if you want to go check him out. And we'll start with prompts number 1. How do you organise your books on the shelves? Because I have new shelves, they are now in alphabetical order, kind of-ish. By kind of, all the A's are together, all the B's are together. By author, all the C's are together. I haven't put them in alphabetical order by author within each letter yet. I will get round to that eventually. Or I'm going to keep leaving it until Noah over at the Bookworm gets really annoyed at me and comes and does it for me, although he may not be able to reach the top shelf. Number 2, have you ever merged your collection with your significant other? So, when I was married, we did share our book collection on the shelves. We didn't have anywhere near as many books as I do now. Now I'm incredibly single, aggressively so. No one's going near my books. So there we go. That's how that one works out. I suspect they still have some of my books, or we've just lost them on multiple moves over the years because we've moved around quite a bit. But as a rule of thumb, generally my books kept to their shelves and their books kept to theirs. But there was a little bit of intermingling. Number 3, do you write your name and or price paid in your books? No. I used to, as a kid, write my name in them. If I wrote prices that I paid for books in them, at some point my brain would go, I wonder how much I've spent on books. And then I would sit there for about an hour with a calculator and then cry. Because of all the other things that I could have bought, like holidays. I probably wouldn't cry, to be fair. I don't believe in sunshine. But no, I don't. I don't actually annotate or anything in books either as of right now. So that's something that has never really occurred to me, although I'm pretty sure some of the older books I've got have got stickers and stuff that I've stuck in them in, so there we go. Number 4, do you keep all of the books you've read or only the most cherished? I keep pretty much all of them. If there's a book that I haven't particularly enjoyed and I know somebody who's interested in it, I will lend it to them and then never chase them to return it. At least then someone's getting a bit of enjoyment out of it. But these are my books. Mine. They live with me now. They are hostages. That's how this works. Number 5. Does the style and quality of your bookshelves and or cases matter? Kind of, but not really. I've recently got new bookcases because a floor doesn't count as a bookcase, really. And I like them to match, so all the ones I've got now are this grey colour. I'd love more expensive, sturdier, thicker bookcases. There is a budget concern here. I cannot afford that. So, as long as they are relatively sturdy, they don't fall and try and kill me, they're not too difficult to put together, and they hold books, relatively happy. Number 6, do you have any gripes or complaints about bookcase construction? Yes, with these ones anyway. The fixed shelf, which is this one, is not bang centre of the height, which means I can't actually measure out all the shelves to the same height, and this really upsets me, and it's taken a few false starts to get it so that I can actually have all of the books stood up. It did take a little bit of time, and also me getting another bookcase, to be fair, but that's annoyed me. And also, an interesting thing with these, with the backing plate, there's very little room for error for when you're nailing it in, because obviously it nails into the back of this, and because of the way it's measured out, you've got very little room for error. So there's a couple where the nails have kind of pushed underneath the shelf and made it rise a tiny bit at the back, underneath the laminate. I don't know, whatever the coating covering is on it. Other than that, though, not really. As long as it's relatively straightforward to put up and then stays in one piece, it's doing its job. Number 7, do you ever stack books horizontally? I do. I don't like to do it, but I do sometimes. You can see there is one just there because I've not actually worked it into my shelves yet, because I had it behind me for a video the other day. The only ones that I do have right now that are horizontally stacked are on my non-fiction shelves, or my everything else shelves, which are over there. And that's mainly because a lot of them are very tall books, because they're non-fiction and they're reference books. And it's meant to be a 3-shelf bookcase, and if I stood them up, it would become a 2-shelf bookcase, and then I'd need to buy another one, and I don't want to buy another bookcase. So right now, that's what's happening with that over there. Number 8, I should have probably read ahead to this one. What are your 5 favourite jackets or covers? Okay. Well, we can start with my favourite one. Well, maybe not my favourite, but we have Hell Followed With Us by Andrew Joseph White. I absolutely adore this cover. I think this is a beautiful cover. This one's textured. I have 2 copies of the book. In fact, that's also textured well. This is a slightly shiny one, which the amazing Luna over at Cottage Goth Library got me. She got me the sprayed edges one. So that's number 1. Oh, right. Actually, Dragon Rider by Taran Matharu. I actually do think I'm going to prefer the cover for book 2, which is out later this year, which is a similar sort of art style, but it's got purpley colours. I like purple, so that's 2. We're going to have to pause while I have a look. Alright, so we've mentioned Dragon Rider, we've also hit Hell Followed With Us. Worth noticing, all Andrew Joseph White's covers are amazing. So, next up, probably my most disappointed read from last year, but it was a cover by, and I still stand by that the cover is absolutely stunning. It's Chrysalis and Requiem by Quinton Lee. Dark Academia, a little bit all over the place, unfortunately, but I think this is an absolutely stunning cover. And then, speaking of a stunning cover that then continues on the inside with the artwork as well, we have Hyo the Hellmaker. I do love my anime stylings a little bit, and this just wraps round perfectly. And then also round onto the back as well. And then on the inside, you have various anime style artworks sort of littered throughout, making it a bit of a complete package, especially for like a 500-ish page book as well. Absolutely gorgeous. More people need to read that one. And then finally, and a bit torn for this one, so I've gone for a book I haven't read yet, which is Blackwater Book 1, The Flood. Probably going to blind some people. I mean, all the Blackwater books in this series are absolutely gorgeous, but I've picked book 1 because literally in the shop, I didn't realise I'd been talking to Elaine about this one at the time. I saw this and just bought it. I didn't read the title. I didn't read who it was by. I didn't read the blurb. I just bought it because pretty, which I do on an alarmingly regular basis. So there we go. There's my 5 favourite jackets or covers. Also, shout out to Discworld just in general. What are my 5 most disliked jackets and covers? Okay, so the first one is Wool by Hugh Howey. I was given this by a friend. This has one of these horrible things. Stickers that aren't stickers. Why? Telling me it's the next Hunger Games as well. It's not. It's nothing like the Hunger Games. So give your head a wobble, Sunday Times. I realise that this is a number of years old by now. It's just shades of red in it. It's just not very exciting. I presume it's meant to represent nuclear fallout and fire and destruction, but it's just boring. Speaking of boring, we have David Gemmell's Legend. It's an axe on a brown background. Like, how uninspiring can you get for a fantasy novel? And it's actually really, really good from what I remember. But not quite sure what inspired me to buy this. It's brown and an axe. Anyway. Next one. So, I don't know what happened with these books. I must have at some point ended up getting hardbacks and then just randomly not being able to get one. And I suspect this is an American cover. I don't think this is a UK cover. But we have Voice of the Gods by Trudy Canavan, which is, there we go, shiny. Age of 5, book 3. That makes it look like a fantasy romance. And whilst I'm pretty sure it does have some romance in it, it definitely isn't. That is not representative of this book in the slightest. Like, at all. That looks like the cover of a Mills and Boon. And I mean that in a derogatory fashion. Next up, it's another one that has, I've not read this yet, another one that has the stupid not sticker on it. All of Us Villains. It's boring. It's just, there's nothing to it. It's some leaves on a chalkboard. Yeah. I only picked this up because it was £3. And finally, and another one that I have not read yet, but this one annoys me. It's Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. And why this annoys me is, at a glance, you would think this was a YA. And on TikTok, this has been suggested to plenty of people that are quite young. This is not suitable for 18 plus. It has the world's tiniest disclaimer on the back. But that is a cover aimed at an age demographic too young to be reading it. Sorry, not sorry. Number 10 is there such a thing as too many books? No. There we go. A nice simple answer for you. So, I think that's it. Number 11 is tag some people. If you're watching this and you haven't done this tag already, consider yourself tagged and let me know. Tag me in your video so I can come and watch it and find out how much self-respect you have. Thank you to Elaine for tagging me in this one. Thank you all for watching. I'll catch you all very soon.